Hello YouTube, it's about 40 degrees. We got snow melting out there. You can hear it dripping on everything. And I've got about 80 degrees. I'm working in a t-shirt with the door open a little bit. So there's your weather report. Okay, we heated this up and took it out. I do believe this is for removing grout in tile. I never did look it up, see if there's a tool in the store. Okay, we heated this up quite a ways away from the handle, probably about here, and we pointed the flame towards the vise. We got hot till we seen some smoke coming off it, so then we just shut the torch off. So then we knew it's gonna stay hot, so we just kept wiggling and wiggling and got it out. Okay, so my next step is to find a bit the same size as this. So we cleaned the hole out. Just have to be a 5/16. Yeah, we cleaned the hole out. Can you see down there? Okay, we want to make this hole longer so we get more in there. So what we did is we got a 1/4 inch bit. We're doing this by hand with it in the vise. Can you see that down in here? You see that gets right there? Can you see it where it's getting smaller? So we're going to keep doing that, okay? And we determined the size of this square. We got to do something with our table. It's lopsided. We determined the size of this 3/8 square is close to 5/32. Okay, when you put it up there, look across it diagonally, not square wise. You know what I mean? Diagonal. You know, not square, but diagonal, like that. Okay, we may do that for like the first 1/2 inch to get a clearance hole started. We're going to do this all by hand because we've tried it with a power drill before. We'd really like to go all the way through and put a carriage bolt out there so we can pound on this pry bar. We're going to see what happens because I don't think we're going to make it. We don't have a drill bit long enough. If we could get through with a 1/4 inch, then we could work our way up from both ends. Okay, we'll come back after we get this in there as far as we can. And this is all we're doing. We're just going in there. It takes a lot of muscle. Not much came out. You know what I mean. And use the best bit you can find. So we'll be back when we get this drill a little further. So okay to remember where it's at. Can you see about where it's at? We'll be back. Okay, that's as far as we go. See, you get better and better at it. That shows you got a good drill bit when both strands are the same. Try to keep going the same way you're drilling to take this out of here. You back up the plastic jams in there, just like metal would. So try to go like this when you take it off. You know what I mean. We're at the edge of our drill bit. I ain't got much left in the vise. I wish we could make it all the way through. We're not done yet. What's nice about the clear handle is you look in there, you can kind of tell by the way it's made, you can kind of tell how straight you are. I know it's hard to see on the camera. Let me try to get a little more. There. So you can kind of tell, see that? You can kind of tell that you're not too far off. When I stopped and started again, I kind of got out of whack there a little bit. See that? Where it looks a little different. Now we're going to go to the next side. You don't need to see that. So you get the idea. I'm doing this by hand. It takes some muscle work to do. If we can't get all the way through, it's just going to be one of those you won't be able to pound on. So we're not going to complain. This handle was like brand new until I started banging around on the desk and everything. And I can't cover it up. I need to see through it. So like I say, let's talk. More work. Okay, we're this far with the 5/16. Each bit gets a little longer. That's the 3/8. We're going to see if we have a size between 3/8 because that is a really big jump. 5/16 is 10/30. You do the math. You know what I mean. If I do it, I'll mess up. But it is quite a bit of big jump from 5/16 to 3/8. It is if you look at it. That's a pretty big jump when you're going from one to the next. We're going to see what we have. We're going to look through our bits. It took a lot of muscle. We went about a ½ inch further without the 1/4 inch, and it took a lot of muscle to keep digging. You can almost tell down there. See where it looks different? That's just with the 5/6. It took a lot of muscle to dig that further without the 1/4 inch pilot hole. So that took some muscle. Some nice strands we're getting out of there. Okay, this is going to be a long video if we keep doing this, showing you these little clips, but it's interesting. Okay, we're at the 11:30 seconds, which is 22/64. We finally had to use a power drill. Now, wear your goggles and beware. I don't have this chucked in there very far because we're trying to get to the end of that. But we're going to show you how straight it looks. And that's not bad. And excuse me, no time to edit. Each size I went through many times. Don't do this, but that's what it'll do. But try your best, you know, to clean it out, because you're going over the next one and that's a little bit over, you know, and you could get off, but that's not bad. And I got the clutch on the lowest setting, so it'll, if it grabs, nothing's gonna break or rip out of my hand. That's straight enough for me. Okay, back to work. Do this at your own risk. There's my disclaimer. Okay, change of plans. Here we go. Here comes the suspense. Last bit we could get in there was 25/64, 1/64 over 3/8. And I can't even tell you right now the measurement of that shaft. It's going to have to be, it's almost ½ inch when you go diagonal. So we're going to grind it down to 3/8. We went around with our measuring tool. See? I thought I was crazy when I chopped this piece of junk up. But we went around here like this. Over and over and over and over and over again. That's close up to center. We're going to find a small bit, 1/8 of an inch or so. We're going to drill in here carefully. We're going to open this up on the other end and we're going to start drilling it out. The soapy water did work good. We went back after it. We went back and got about halfway through with the one size over 3/8. And we just filled it full of cold soapy water. I got a water bottle out here and it's not ice cold, it's cold. And that kept the bit from overheating and it lubricated and it did pretty good in there, didn't it? See that? I went in there a lot of times. It's off a little bit. We'll never know. We won't care. So it's a shame I'm beating this up out of it, but I got to see through it. It's going to be a working tool, so it does not matter. I am starting to be frustrated. You're like, Jim's getting mad on video. No, if it ain't fun, I don't want to do it. When I get frustrated, I just stop and take a break. Get a cold drink. Have some lemonade or something. We're not going to do this stuff to be stressed, but that sure is a nice little, not to plug that, it was junk. Watch these points. I could put something over them. Nice little marking tool now. Hold it up to my ruler, so I could just use it a lot easier instead of the big part on there. Anyway, enough plugging that, how to chop up one of them. Okay, let's take a break. This is going to be a long video. Nobody's going to want to watch. We'll have forever and ever. You drilled that hole. I can't take it anymore. Yes, you can. Hang in there. Come on. Be brave. Come on. Don't leave. You can't. It's too exciting. We're out of gloves. Got to see my greasy hands for another week or so. I try to find some. Okay, it's 2 days later. We've got to get this done. We've had all kinds of stuff. We don't even want to go into it. We've just been too busy. And then with the new grinder. Okay, this is what we did. We ground this down, okay, on the new grinder. Then we heated this up, melted this in here so it goes square. See how that, where it fits in there? Watch. See that? We did buff this up. I don't know if you can tell the difference. We went up to the writing. See that? From the factory finish. It's some kind of weird coating. Okay, next what we're going to do is, see how far that goes in, about right there. We're going to make this carriage bolt fit. Okay, there's a problem with the carriage bolt. We wanted a bigger one. We wanted one like with 3/8 diameter. We cannot find it. We got that hold of a 5/16. We're going to grind some off that square, and we're also going to shape with a Dremel up inside of this bolt. So from the inside, so it conforms to the shape of the screwdriver a little better. So it'll be Dremel time, which I do enjoy. It will Dremel a little bit on the plastic. We don't want to grind on the metal. We want that squared so it can't move. There's going to be a lot of epoxy on that. Of course, it's going to be done last because we're going to cut it to fit. We won't epoxy it. Well, we'll have this in here like this, right? What we plan on doing. We'll have it in here like that. We'll probably leave a little wiggle room so we can measure it. So we hit it and it goes on the bolt. I think you know what I mean. So let's get busy. Let's make this bolt. We'll get this project done. We have no idea what the end's going to be. We'll probably save that for another video because this one's getting way too long unless you want a 20-minute video. I don't think you do. We'll make another part on what the end's going to be. So you know what it is. Put an end on the homemade breaker bar. Pry bar. Yeah, there, correct myself. We're out of gloves. We're using these when it's cold or when it's messy. And I use no gloves on the grinder, but if you haven't seen my grinder video, there it is. One of the guys commented about the wheels. We took some of the wobble out of the wheels. We'll talk about that another day. Okay, let's get to work. Okay, we carved this out with a Dremel tool. We did just take the square off. We did take our sharp knife and kind of chamfer that hole. That's as flat as we can fit it. Now we're going to grind all this lettering off and polish this. We'll have a flat spot because you can hit it with a hammer anyway. Polish it, measure it up, cut it. We'll get this thing epoxied together. We're pushing it now. We've been talking on this too much. Okay, total length of this tool will be 1 foot long. We did this with a 4.5 inch grinder. It is still hot. It turned blue many times. We will retreat the tip if necessary. That's how we have it. It's going to be like a, kind of like a screwdriver. We're going to, it won't be thinner and thinner to the edge. We may go down part way, then drop off and make it real narrow. So we haven't decided yet. So we didn't want to get too carried away out there. Plus, we're out there in the cold and it takes a lot of grinding with a 4.5 inch grinder. I think my bench grinder might be a little bit faster. So there we go. Back to work. We're almost done. This is epoxied and cured. We got this marked with tape so we know exactly how it fits the best. And we're going by the writing on the thing. So that's all done. That's cured. So back to work. Okay, real quick we'll show you the tip. I wish you could see me grinding it. 4.5 inch grinder. I put the first grind on it. Then I perfected it a little bit more with the bench grinder. And you see where the dot is? I dropped it down with a different angle. See where it comes down and all of a sudden it drops down more? I'm not imitating the screwdriver, it just made it easier. Instead of beveling this thing clear from back there, clear to the edge. I think you know what I mean. Shiny spots are where I had a low spot. Now we're just going to buff it up. Remember, it's a tool, it's a pry bar. Can be used for a screwdriver. Everything's magnetic on here. You talk about a mess. Okay, we'll be back when it's all done. No more clips. It's going to be polished, glued together, and then we will be done with this project. This is taking a long time today to do. See where I tried blending that into the square part there? You gotta remember, on the bench grinder, this will be low. When you're grinding on a curved wheel, it's going to grind on the bottom and the top, and it's going to miss the middle when you're just wearing something round. So that's why I said I have a few low spots trying to get out. I think you know what I mean. We'll be back when this thing is done. Give one more look of how I ground that all down. That was the other day. We weren't done with this thing. It's not a hobby when it turns into this much work. Like I always said, if it ain't fun, I don't want to do it. But we'll be happy when we're done, though. Just take a break. I need to relax. Take a little break. Okay, we are finally done with this. And what a mess. We forgot to put masking tape over this end. Then we had too much. It was doing that hydraulic lock thing, so we had to pull it out real quick and wipe some off, because that stuff's only a 5-minute epoxy. Somewhere in here you can actually see it touching the bolt. See that? It might look like a little gap, but trust me, it's tough. You can do this. It is touching in there. I'm trying to amuse myself because I got frustrated on it. Trying to get it done, so you get in a hurry. Forgot to put the masking tape, but the epoxy will peel off pretty good off plastic. It never really sticks to plastic like you think. And you cannot put acetone on here to clean this up. And I bought a odd Tove. You can do this. I am out of 91% rubbing alcohol. I do have some Goo Gone, which won't eat plastic but goof off will. So I did have one resort if I made too much of a mess there, but there you go. Use my abrasive wheels from that real coarse scrubby wheel in the kit to the red one and to the gray one. Now down here, I just took mostly like a crosshatch pattern with the scrubby wheel. So I was trying to get rid of the file marks. This took a lot of file work besides just grinding. So this is going to be a long video. I'm not going to make a two-parter. Somebody will watch it. There you go. I tried taking some real nice pictures that way. I put it on my what? Thumbnail? Beginning of the video. You know what I mean. There you go. Kind of nice, huh? Handle's a little scratched up. I had this handle for a couple of years now, waiting to do something with it. So we're done and we're happy. It is break time. We're gonna take a break, put some more wood in the stove, go in the house and put this all on the computer and make a video out of it. So thanks again for watching.